live. Welcome to Spitball Media Podcast. This is where we spit out the top entertainment stories of the week. Coming to you live from New York, from Ohio, from the great state of Pennsylvania. My name is John Draper. I couldn't remember where Philly was. My name is John Draper. Welcome on this cold winter night. It's not a great day in the entertainment industry. We will get to that shortly. Shaheen, I know you weren't feeling great. How are you feeling?
On pain medication. So if I'm slurring a little bit, excuse me in advance.
That's hot.
Yeah, I got kidney stones today, man. I got one more left in me. I pissed one out and I was bleeding. Fucking awful, man. I was telling him earlier, I was like, man, I literally felt like I birthed out of my penis. Like it was awful.
Hi-oh! And not in the good way.
I was going to say, unless you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's not like you gave birth to something cool. You just gave birth to a rock.
Yeah, it was just a stone. It was a
you got a rock in your dick. What are you going to do? You got a rock in your dick. But I'm glad you're up to snuff, and back on the mend. And, of course, the king of Ohio, Mr. Bisho O'Brien. Bisho O'Brien, you're looking burly as ever with that outfit.
Thank you. Yeah, this flannel jacket is pretty thick.
Flannel jacket.
I feel like I saw your post and I've never felt so seen before. I felt like Cactus Jack walking around with flannel and sweatpants on for like the past 4 years.
I'm wearing a $200 shirt with $30 sweatpants. You can't really see it. Like I'm not. This shirt is $200. Don't please. I'm not. That's obnoxious.
I'm wearing my dog.
And I got a big stain on it. Oh, you're wearing your dog? Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Hey, listen, if you're joining us for the first time, thanks for checking us out. But please consider going to patreon.com/Spitball Media. $5 a month. It's our Patreon. There's a great bunch of people there. We got a huge month. We're going to do a bonus show this weekend for these cats. And then at the end of the month, we're going to do our Q&A show. So please consider going to patreon.com /Spitball Media. $5, like 1,100, 1,200 hours of exclusive content. It's been $5 forever. There's only one tier. It's the Not a Herb tier. There's a whole bunch of cool people in there. If you experience the Q&A show, you'll probably keep it because that seems to be the thing people are excited about. But we're doing a special episode this weekend from Don Stoney, which will get out at some point over this long weekend, as it is MLK Day on Monday. It is a federal holiday. But thank you for checking us out. Go to patreon.com /Spitball Media. And thanks for joining us on the free. Bisho, before we get into the top story of the day, which I think everybody knows where this is going, can we see who's in the chat?
Yeah, quite a few. We got the man Don Stoney himself.
Oh, so he already knows what's up. He knows what's coming this weekend.
We got Chuck.
Oh, what? Chuck's old friend there.
Terrell T. He goes way back.
We go far back, me and that dude.
Yeah. Joe Punches.
The legendary Joe Punches.
Chris Matthews.
Another legend. There's so many legends.
John JLD 999.
Young John. Love that young John JLD 999.
Robbie Desjardins.
Big fan of the Desjardins. What else can I say?
Fatty from the Bayou Geeks. What's up, Fatty?
What's up, Fatty? That's Chris Castro there from the Bayou Geeks.
Yeah. Kevco TV.
Oh, Kevco. What's up, Kev?
And Jarek Braxton.
Oh, Jarek Braxton. A lot of old pals chilling with us. Hope you guys are staying warm tonight. But we're going to get to a very big story. Obviously, most of you probably know what we're getting at. Legend, icon, auteur, one of a kind. Nobody like this guy, David Lynch, who earlier in the late last year, we had discussed, possibly on Patreon, that the notice went out that he would no longer be working due to advanced lung cancer. He has passed away today at the age of 78 years old. And, he is just getting accolade upon accolade, Shah, from the biggest people in the film industry, from Spielberg to Mel Brooks to people who have worked with him to musicians. Shah, we did touch on this. I think this was at some point in the fall that when that came up, we were like, this is he's a big smoker.
Yeah, I honestly, I want to get a David Lynch tattoo one day. Like that's how much he means to me, man. Because like him and Cronenberg were probably the first two directors that kind of got me into weird movies. David Lynch being number one. The first weird movie I ever watched was Eraserhead.
Wow.
So I honestly owe a lot to him, man, because he's the one that kind of opened up the floodgates to cult movies for me, for art house films, things of that nature. Criterion, like I got into physical. Honestly, I think Eraserhead and Cannibal Holocaust are probably one of the main reasons I started collecting physical media because I couldn't
Oh
find
wow.
these. Well, I couldn't find them, so I had to go and buy them on eBay, and then I kind of got into collecting through that.
Jeez.
Yeah, man, I love David Lynch, dude. I wouldn't say he's like one of my favorite directors of all time. Like he's definitely in my top 10.
Oh, I figured that. Yeah, 5. I thought maybe, but
Nah, not in my 5, but
not your
top
5.
10 for sure.
Mhm.
I was very saddened by it, obviously, man. I fucking love David Lynch, and just listening to him like do weather reports during COVID.
Oh,
You
he was
remember
so
that?
crazy. He was so
He would
insane.
go on his YouTube and just tell you the weather reports for his local
Sunny
area.
day. in Los
He was so
Angeles.
fucking insane. Cleric of Chaos
was.
is joining us. Cleric, Beast O'Brien. I know you're when we think of Lynch, I think the most honest word you can use is authentic. In a lot of ways. There's really nobody like this guy.
No, and people have said it, so I'm not going to steal. I'm not going to claim it as my own, but people are saying no one saw the world like David Lynch did.
Wow.
And I was really thinking about it earlier. In many ways, when it comes to movies, he was much like he was maybe more like Quentin Tarantino before Quentin Tarantino, in a stance that, and this goes back to a Robert Eggers quote I heard. I was listening to an interview this week with him, where he says there's a very Western concept of what the narrative structure of a film needs to be. And sometimes if you deviate from that, people don't like it, even if it's good, just because it's not familiar.
Right.
David Lynch's movies are much like some of Tarantino's, where it's not necessarily Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 resolution. It's like sort of shit all over the place. Some stuff doesn't make sense, and you have to be along for the ride, but it's always a good ride.
Yeah.
And just you could tell he was a painter or graphic artist by trade before he got into filmmaking, because all of his films have just stunning visuals or rich colors or just out there wacky.
The characters. I think the characters
Yeah.
that he brings out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just fantastic. Fantastic.
Now, I don't want to put everybody on the spot, but I want to go around here because we are going to talk about this a little bit. B-Show, not best, favorite, like the David, if you can only watch one David Lynch movie from now until you pass on, what are you picking?
I think I've only watched Dune, Twin Peaks, and
Blue Velvet?
Blue Velvet.
Mm.
I don't know. That's hard, man. I really like.
Well,
Twin
you were a
Peaks.
Twin Peaks TV show watcher, weren't you?
Yes, I found Twin Peaks about 10 years ago and really, really liked it.
And did you watch the reboot as well?
Yes, I think
Wow.
it's weird. I think Shah would like the reboot more than the original.
Mm.
I thought the reboot was really, really. Oh yeah,
There we go.
reboot was really
OG.
abstract.
Look at
It's like
that. cover.
20 years
Laura
old.
Palmer, right? Laura
Yeah.
Palmer. Wow. B-Show, what are you picking? For me, it's Blue Velvet is just
If I'm
even above
picking-
Elephant Man. The Frank Booth character in Blue Velvet.
Yeah,
The
I think we
candy-colored
talked about
clown
that a
that
couple
called the
weeks ago,
Sandman.
a couple months ago.
Yeah, we did.
It's
We
just
talked about it
good.
recently.
Was it Dennis Hopper with
Dennis
the?
Hopper.
Yeah. If I have to pick, probably that one, just because it's.
Let's hit the
Just-
fucking road. Sorry.
I saw a clip today. What kind of beer you drink?
Oh my.
Heineken, Pabst, Blue fucking Ribbon, or something
Oh
like that.
my God. So you going Blue Velvet?
I have to. Yeah,
Okay.
I like Twin Peaks, but Blue Velvet's fucking cool.
Shah, I know you've seen a lot more than those three, but what are you picking? The one that you think stands above all of them. Not necessarily even the best, your favorite, let's say.
I actually have all of his movies here except for Lost Highway.
Look at this.
It's the main one I don't have.
I know it's tough.
There's nothing like it, man. It's like a noir. It's like a mystery.
Oh, I think I lost you. Blue Velvet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I need.
Criterion
to see
has a great relationship with David Lynch, so they put out all.
that. How
his
could they
movies
not?
put
It
out.
was created probably for David Lynch.
I mean, they put out a Lost Highway recently too. That's the only one I don't own.
Yeah, I've seen
Elephant Man.
Yeah,
absolute
just a work.
fucking
It's a work of
masterpiece.
art. I mean, it's a highbrow work of
Yeah.
art, much like
Tearjerker.
Eraserhead, but it's just so heavy to watch.
Of course
Mulholland
you got-
Drive. That is a crazy motherfucking movie, man. That and
I
Lost
still don't
Highway.
understand it, and he will never explain it because
explain it.
he said it'll ruin the movie. There's no reason to ever watch it again. Second favorite though was probably Eraserhead.
Yeah.
This movie I didn't know was about Philadelphia,
Mm.
but it makes sense because of like the industrial background and setting. Like it makes sense as far as old Philadelphia from the 60s and 70s.
Wow.
And this is supposed to be David Lynch essentially in Philadelphia freaking the fuck out because he hated
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
like having like a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it's so crazy.
And then I would probably say Lost Highway after
Love Lost
that,
Highway.
and then Wild at Heart, of course, with
Oh
Nicolas Cage.
yeah, Wild at Heart's great performance.
forgot about that.
Defoe and Wild at Heart is great too.
Pays some homage to Wizard of Oz, and then probably my least favorite is Dune, which Arrow Video put out this set. Look at this beautiful fucking.
Wow.
It's got a booklet. It's a steel book.
Just so one of these things is not like the other, and that one would be Dune. What's up, Travis? Joining us live. Thanks for hanging out, Travis.
Bisho, I sent you a link too. If you want to pull that up, it's got some funny quotes from David Lynch because he's got some of the best.
Oh, he was a fucking nutter. You know, it's so crazy. I was thinking about this today. There's just certain people that are so unique in their style, Bisho, but also in their output and what they get from performers. And I think for America, though, two of those never to be replaced people again. One would be John Waters, and the other would be David Lynch. And I feel like those two in particular bookends the power of being not giving a fuck, you know, of not having to explain yourself or be formulaic. Now, John Waters never got the performances that David Lynch got from people, but John Waters also parlayed from, you know, having Divine eating shit out of a dog's ass and sucking a dude's dick to Broadway. Right. And like being on The Simpsons and like, so I mean, I feel the two of them, if there's a Mount Rushmore of the most prolific, unique American filmmakers, those two on the list.
Yeah, they'd have to be. And it's cool because like those two are both great lessons in don't give a fuck. And if you're that good, you can be weird and you can be strange and you can be unique and you can have a unique voice and you can still crack pop culture. Because John Waters, I mean, he had Crybaby. So in a way, he was kind of in that lexicon.
Yeah.
But not everyone I know knows who John Waters is.
No, he's not a household name, but his success. I mean, you know.
But he's been on The Simpsons.
Hairspray was a Broadway musical, like successful, like launch. You know,
that's my point. He's one of those guys that, like, even if every regular everyday person doesn't know who he is, they know something he's done. And these guys were able to do that stuff by being completely themselves. Shah, I saw the quotes. There's a bunch of long ones in there. I think this one has him being a maniac for like 3 minutes.
The main one I wanted to mention is he said, "I've said many, many, many unkind things about Philadelphia, and I meant every single one."
Oh my god,
he hated Philly.
Should I play this clip right here real quick?
Yeah, let's play one of them.
All right.
A blessing for humanity. I want a pet monkey.
Yes. How do you, as a filmmaker, feel about this growing trend?
Bullshit. Who gives a shit how long a scene is? It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your telephone. Get real. I was asked by George about directing, which would be the third Star Wars.
Oh my god.
And I had next door to zero interest. You've got to get your butt in gear and do it. And don't take no for an answer.
Wow. Shah,
Love that dude,
that's your man right there.
Love that dude, man. He seemed like he was such a genuine person, like kind person.
As I said, like an original, like, but also like, you know, no bullshit. Like, you know, he was that guy. And by the way, he looked cool as fuck, guys. Like
he was one of a kind, dude.
He was like his hair, the cigarette, the fucking you know,
the iconic look.
Voice.
You know?
Yeah, he just looked like a somebody. Oh, shout out to our good friend Mr. Anderson is in the chat.
I should show you guys this. I actually did a painting that was inspired by Eraserhead. Let me go grab that real quick.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
And it's funny you mentioned that
painting I did. Hold on one second.
Sorry, you mentioned that about his style too. I remember one summer a couple of years ago, I thought, you know what, if he can get away with that hair, and I tried to just
cool as fuck.
Like I didn't style it. I just kind of put it up and didn't give a shit and didn't look
like Morrissey
near.
or Chris Isaac, like a greaser, but not really a greaser. But just like that picture of him with the fucking hair.
He could have been in Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, he looked like he would beat the shit out of a dude too. I don't know if he was a violent man, but he seemed like a guy like who could handle himself. Like I mean, he's a small stature guy, I think, but you know, his voice, his cadence in his voice, you know, and I had zero to next door interest in doing that shit or whatever. And you know, listen, he was difficult to work with, but boy, the people that worked with him, loved it. Like like, I remember Naomi Watts, because she really got her big fuck you break is in Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
As most of us know, and she's hot as Georgia Asphalt in that movie, pun intended, for David Lynch. But Shah, he was not an easy guy to work for.
No, I'm sure he wasn't. Again, he was a one of a kind, man. He was like a Picasso, like a Kanye West, Michael Jackson type of guy, like just original to the point that nobody can mimic what he did, And just to show you how big of a fan I am, I didn't even realize.
I know this.
I have 3 different David Lynch related paintings in my living room. So this one is the only one I didn't do. It's a poster for Eraserhead. I don't know if you can put me on the big screen.
Yeah, let me try.
Look at that. Oh, when the thing comes out.
The baby from
the baby. It's not really a baby.
It's one of my favorite art pieces I have. And then
didn't he do Naked Lunch too? Or am I?
No, that's Cronenberg.
Cronenberg, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is David Lynch that I did.
Wow, look at that.
Nice.
And then this is probably my favorite painting I've ever done in my life. It inspired by Eraserhead. It's just
we got a little
weird.
leg there.
Wow.
That's wild. Look at that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, Eraserhead upsets me. Elephant Man upsets me to a point where I just can't do it. Like
I love the Elephant Man though. That's a fucking masterpiece, dude.
Just can't do it. Like John Hurt in that movie is just I can't. I'm just like it's too much. It's so brutal. Yeah, that voice, the style. B-Show, I'll say this. We're not getting another one.
No, I think it's too late. I think the fall of mankind will be on its way faster than we get another David Lynch. You see him do interviews. I watched, the clip was called, I think it's on YouTube if anyone wants to see it. I'll try to drop it in the chat later if I find it. But it's like 8 minutes of David Lynch being a madman.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I love him.
Being crazy. And what's the thing I noticed too is you mentioned that he's not an easy guy to work with.
No.
But if you watch what he's doing on set when he's complaining about it being cold or why is that light making that sound, it'll drive you nuts. Like he seems like he's annoying people, but then they're laughing with him when he cracks a smile. So
I think if you're in his circle, you don't take it like John Waters has this wonderful disposition. I don't know if you saw the clip I sent you guys a few weeks ago of John Waters at the Hardcore Show. Yeah. And by the way, he does this all the time because he's a people watcher. He's intrigued by weird, eccentric. He doesn't want to be at a Britney Spears concert. He wants to be at a Trapped Under Ice concert in Baltimore at the Hardcore Show. I do think they have a lot in common in the sense that, we're never getting another one of either one of those guys again, Shah.
Yeah, like I said, Cronenberg is another one. Those were like my 1 and 2, but I would still say David Lynch is probably the most original because Cronenberg films, you can watch a Cronenberg film and be like, okay, he did this. I can see it. They're all very similar. Body horror. Mm-hmm. David Lynch, he's got a wide range of different films, man. I mean, you look at Elephant Man to Eraserhead, like that. They have nothing in common other than the fact that they're both black and white.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at some of the films here if we can. Then we're going to move on to the other Elephant Man in the Room, the Robbie Williams movie, which many people have asked us to talk about tonight. What do we got there? I can't tell if I could see all of these. I think that's Blue Velvet to the left, Dune to the right. Am I right there, B-Show?
Yeah, I thought this was Blue Velvet. I don't know what this is. Is that
Wild at Heart? That's Twin Peaks Firewalk with Me.
Yeah, fourth one is probably Wild at Heart.
Mulholland
Highway, of course.
That's not Mulholland Drive. That's fucking
Lost Highway.
No, that's actually Blue Velvet.
That's Blue Velvet. Okay,
really?
This.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was talking about this one down here.
The one in the far right on the road there. Isn't that Mulholland Drive?
There's 2.
No, that's Mulholland Drive.
Firewalk. Marquise, thanks for hanging out with us, Marquise.
So what's the first one? The one with the TV screen?
Wild at Heart?
I thought Wild at Heart would be
the red. No,
I thought Wild at Heart would be the fourth one with the car.
I mean, the Dune one is obvious. The one with the car, to me, I think is Lost Highway. That's the car.
Well, no, Lost Highway is the last one.
Yeah, the far right in the corner there. The one next to it, I thought it was that Firewalk with Me.
I would think so, yeah. But then Firewalk with Me, I think is the one, the rose-colored one.
No, I thought this was the Twin Peaks Return because of the the velvet.
Oh,
Curtains.
maybe, yeah, because there is the return.
Well,
And then
look up.
this is Twin Peaks right here. So these are both Twin Peaks because of the green.
Misho, can you pull up? Can you type in Criterion?
A candy
Fire
colored
Walk
clown
with
they
Me.
call the Sandman. I wish we could call the episode that. It's too long, but I would love to call the episode that.
You'll see. I'm pretty sure the red one is
A
Twin
candy
Peaks.
colored clown they call the Sandman.
What's that, Shah?
Fire Walk with Me.
That movie's bananas.
You
There
see
we
the
go.
background?
Yeah, it's got the red curtains with the.
It might be.
It might be. You know, hey, is the little person who talks backwards still alive?
Him and the giant. I think were in the new Twin Peaks.
That's right, they were.
So is Harry Dean Stanton right before? Like there was a bunch
Right
of
before
people.
he died. Oh, Harry Dean
right
Stanton
before
is
they
the
died, there was-
acting equivalent of David Lynch. You know?
Yes.
That dude was hard as nails.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but listen, incredible career, legacy, absolute legacy, complete original, and not for everyone, and didn't give a fuck, But rest in peace to the legend. And before before we move on to the Robbie Williams thing, which is just going to be the opposite of this conversation, in every way. Shah, do you get the impression that a lot of the stuff we're watching today has been greatly influenced by Lynch, whether we know about it or not, whether it's a Long Legs, or some, or even, or dare I say, even like A Strange Darling? Do you feel like these are people that grew up on these movies and said, oh, wow, I want to make a more concise version of what this guy does?
Absolutely. I would think a lot of directors are nowadays inspired by David Lynch, because I've never been to film school, but a lot of YouTube channels that I watch that guys that have gone to film school, they say like David Lynch. They teach you about David Lynch instantly.
Yeah.
Do you remember him playing a character on the Louis C.K. show?
I do. It was Louis. It wasn't. Louis C. It was the one that we can't show anymore. But it was amazing.
Dude, that was the most random cameo ever.
Yeah, he must have just really liked him. He was a strange guy. He was friends with Eddie Vedder, obviously, like in Pearl Jam, and he doesn't seem like a guy who would like Pearl Jam B-Show, but he really liked Eddie Vedder a lot.
Yeah, he's just so random and strange. But in a good way. And I think, like I said at the top of the show, like he is very much an inspiration for people with a unique vision, because like everything now seems so homogenized. And like I said about the 3-act structure, everything's got to be structured. Everyone's got to fit into this thing. Everything's got to be a brand or and then you see stuff like he put out. And it's like, this was none of that shit, and it was amazing. And it was, but you know what I mean? So
Bisho, do you see his influence in the movies you're enjoying in the last few years by certain directors?
Yeah, especially ones that aren't just cookie cutter and they're very visually compelling, or they have Easter eggs in them, and you mentioned Long Legs.
I think Long Legs and honestly, Strange Darling. I can seriously see like the visuals of the fields and the highway and the running. I was like, oh, that reminds me of some David Lynch.
And the uses of like the deep reds and the deep blues, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, it's a damn shame, but listen, Don Stoney's killing it right now.
I wonder if Louis C.K. jerked off in front of him.
If you're going to recommend a movie to people, before we move on to Robbie there, what would you recommend there, Shah? What would you recommend for a movie?
To the general public? I would probably say
not like cinephiles, to a normies.
Probably Elephant Man
Yeah.
and Blue Velvet. Those are probably the two that I think anybody.
I was going to say Wild at Heart because of the Nicolas Cage performance and all that stuff, probably.
That's still very confusing, though. You know what I mean? Like
it is.
It's a fucking confusing movie.
Yeah, I would say Elephant Man for the high art value. What would you recommend, B-Show?
Probably Elephant Man.
Yeah, just that. It's so high art. And it's black and white. It's the performance. Yeah, you have Anthony Hopkins, a much younger Anthony Hopkins, just really, driving that movie as almost like a narrative in a lot of ways. And I believe it's John Hurt. John Hurt played the Elephant Man. He was a great character actor, British character actor. Oh, Mr. Isaacs is here too. Okay, listen, you guys wanted us to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this. I'm going to have to take some people on a memory lane trip, okay? In the mid-'90s, MTV was a Bible for young people to get news. There's no streaming. There's no internet. you watched MTV for culture and news and music, and it crossed the streams. You had a rap show, you had an alternative show, you had, the fucking pop shit, you had the fucking metal show at night, you had the fucking really, 120 minutes at Sunday nights from 12 to 2, where you learned about Jesus and Mary chain and fucking, and shit. But MTV made and broke stars. And I remember very vividly a guy I had never heard of. They were pushing him heavy. He was from a boy band called Take That, which I had never heard of. But in the UK, they were so famous that a lot of our UK friends will attest that they had to put a suicide hotline together for women. This is legit 95 or something like that. So Robbie Williams was like the Donnie Wahlberg version of that. I didn't think anything special. MTV pushed this guy to the moon. To the fucking moon. He had a song called Millennium. I think it came out in 97 or 99. 97 maybe. I could be off on the time. But this is, but I never, like, they went to his house and like in a castle and he's danced. But he was a nothing for nothing. He had a big hit here with the Millennium song, and then he petered out, and then he had that Angel song, which I don't want to get into it, but more than likely he stole from a drug addict in Ireland and then gave him $6,000. And then the song made hundreds of millions. Yeah, you can look it up. It's too deep to go. You could be here for 4 hours talking about this. So I never thought. Now my father, my now deceased dad, loved the Millennium song because the opening was from a James Bond movie. Somebody's gonna have to G-check me from a famous James Bond movie. Like my father loved it, played it all the time because he loved James Bond. But Robbie Williams, nothing for nothing. I thought the guy just became got a day job. I didn't know that this dude set like a record of 700,000 people in 3 days in a concert in 99 or something. Fast forward 2024. They start promoting this biopic about Robbie Williams. And I'm like, that's the Millennium guy? Like, he's got to be 50-something years old. He's got to be mine. You only live twice. Thank you. Millennium, by the way, I'm not shitting on the song. It's not about the quality of his music or lack of quality. Then they said that he was going to be a CGI monkey in the film. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Now, any smart person in America would know this movie was going to bomb. Why? Because it's 2024 going into 2025. Young people, no concept who he is. America, no concept who he is. Somebody said this would be the equivalent shot of making a movie about the guy who had Mambo No. 5.
I mean, to be honest, I remember that guy too. Lou Bega. Somebody said this would be the equivalent of making a Lou Bega movie where he's played by a chameleon or something. Like, it just makes no sense.
Or like
right?
Jordan Knight from the fucking
Jordan Knight's New Kids sell out now. They're still successful.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, I think I just think he wasn't well known in America, because when I lived in Germany, like, he was number one. He was.
I'm not discounting his European.
Yeah, he was
fame.
huge in Europe.
In this country.
But this is like Kylie Minogue getting we're gonna make $100 million movie about Kylie Minogue.
The movie cost $100 million. It made $1 million in the United States. Look it up. Look it up. $100 million for a faded pop star from the UK. Bicho, can we pull the numbers? I mean, Robbie's saying he's huge in Canada too. I'm talking about the States. This is not. We can't get a movie about Jeff Buckley. We're gonna get a movie about Robbie Williams as a fucking monkey.
Canada's not the States yet.
Canada's not the States yet. They're working on it. There, Robbie.
Kylie
Minogue is infinitely. I would have more interest in Kylie Minogue than I would in Robbie Williams.
This would be like Penn Hall from 21 Jump Street getting a biopic movie now where he plays a dragon. That's from John JLD.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Now, they sold the movie, I think, to Paramount or somebody for $25 million or something like that. Better Man, which is
fucking awful.
Awful. He's not even in the movie. He's not even in the movie. There's a guy dancing as him. $100 million.
This looks like that Sing movie from fucking Pixar or DreamWorks.
Yeah, but that made a lot of money.
No, I'm saying it looks like it, and it's
now Chuck is saying he loved it. Now there are people that we're friends with that saw the movie, said the movie's great. I'm not saying it's a bad film or he's a bad person or that it's bad music. I'm saying you don't make $100 million movie about someone who is not famous and market it in a country primarily who does not know who he is. 25 years after his 20 plus years after his biggest hit. Oh, Robbie Richmond's here. He's saying it's a tax write-off.
What's up,
It's
Robbie?
$100 million.
Am I the only one who thinks this looks like Conor McGregor in a rom-com?
It might. I don't know. I don't know the monkey thing. I honestly don't know.
Well, no, the monkey thing was it was supposed to be like a subliminal for like music
being out of place.
Dance monkeys, yeah. No, well, using them as dance monkeys and
like an organ grinder dancing,
like an organ grinder. Okay, yeah. I mean, Shah. Look, he was very famous in Europe for sure, but we don't have $100 million movie about Billy Joel. I mean, like we don't have $100 million movie. The Elton John movie didn't cost $100 million.
You must be offended if you're sticking up for Billy Joel. That's for sure.
I'm saying that no studio would greenlight $100 million. The Bob Dylan movie cost like $30 million. The Bob Dylan movie with Timothy Chalamet cost $30 million or some shit. 110.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's made 11. 10 of it was overseas. This is like what? Shah, let me ask you a question, honestly. How could a time when movies are doing so badly, how could this even happen?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is the tax write-off. That's the most logical thing because going into it, spending 110, man, you're taking an L. There's no way you think you're going to profit off of that. If they did, they're delusional. Like, I don't know what country they thought was going to support this. Again, he's big in Europe, but Europe isn't big enough to support $110.
He's not big now. He's not big now in Europe.
No, I'm sure he's not.
Now.
Not that I would know. I haven't been back to Europe.
He's 50 years old, yo.
Yeah.
No, ain't nobody making a John Draper movie where I'm played by a fucking, a parakeet.
And keep in mind, he was like.
And I wrote my own songs.
He was a pop star too. He wasn't like he wasn't like an Elvis Presley. Like he wasn't somebody that was super original.
Take that.
He was a fucking pop star.
Want You Back for Good. I remember that video. I saw the song, "The Crying in the Rain." I remember all that in 95 or 94, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, they're doing a Bruce Springsteen movie with Jeremy Allen White, the dude from the Bear Show, who's like the hottest guy on the planet. That movie don't cost no $110 million, and people will go see that shit with that kid. Man,
I remember Soundgarden more than I remember this guy.
There ain't gonna be no 150 Chris Cornell movie.
Well, there's two things. One, someone said, I think it was Robbie Richmond. What's up, Robbie? It was done by the guy who did The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
So that probably
it's a musical movie. Yeah. It has limited appeal.
They probably thought, as someone else in the chat, and I missed who it was, the high concept of the dancing monkey, the performing artist, and the CG. But no, hang on. It got good reviews from critics. So critics are probably like coming all over themselves like, oh, it's a dancing monkey and blah, blah, blah.
They were paid.
You think so?
I guarantee you they were paid. Dude, there are these people who review movies go, I know the Robbie Williams movie wasn't supposed to be good. I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan now. This is like the Fightful fucking. This is like absurd. Like, I don't believe any of this. What were you going to say?
By the way, I'm just like Drew Yaria. I got Soundgarden mixed up with Savage Garden. I meant what? Savage Garden.
Savage Garden.
That's what I meant. Soundgarden was the fucking
Savage Garden, but the two guys are played by
that's what I meant. Truly
rhinoceroses.
Love song. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't understand. Some people should get fired for this. And again, I don't dislike Robbie Williams. That music. Look, you play that music for my children. They're 20 and 21. They're gonna laugh at you. It's like High School Musical music. I don't know what was in the water in the UK, because at the time when he was big, there was some pretty great records coming out of the UK by bands like Jesus and Mary Chain B Show, and by like artists like Lush and very cool and fucking Catherine Wheel and these like shoegaze bands that you would listen to in 100 years over any of this stuff.
What's the name of the band he was in? What'd you say?
Take That.
Take That.
It was a boy band.
And see, I have no recollection of any of this.
You were a little young for this. I was in my 20s.
Okay, 1990. So this would have been like New Kids on the Block, Milli Vanilli.
This was like the fucking UK New Kids on the Block. Literally the same shit. And it had the same, but they were not big here either. If Robbie Williams was going to play a concert in any one of our cities, he would play a large theater and there would be seats.
Yeah, because it's like my wife and I went to see Blues Traveler a couple years ago. They played at the little promenade, the garden side fucking stage next to like the AAA ballpark. They didn't play the stadium. They played the little place. And it was
nobody making no $100 million movie with John Popper played by a grizzly bear.
Although that would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty funny.
If it was fictionalized and he was a grizzly bear.
And then he just starts killing people as the bear.
Yeah. And playing harmonica.
Yeah, Robbie Richmond knows. Take that. They split up in '96, and Spice Girls arrived 6 weeks later.
Holy shit. Bad time.
And Robbie was the only one, I think, to transcend. You know, I mean, I don't know, Shah. You lived overseas when some of this shit was going on.
Yeah, I remember the Spice Girls were probably one of the bigger things. Back
But they were
then.
huge in America.
Yeah, they were. But I mean, dude, in Germany, I
could only
anywhere
imagine
you
how
went,
big they were in Germany. I could only imagine.
they had their own lollipops, every fucking thing you can imagine. They
Yeah.
had.
Wait a minute. They broke up in '96?
Take
Oh,
that.
later.
That was right before the boy band pop revolution hit in America. That was terrible timing.
That was the next wave, though, because we just got out of New Kids. And then we were going to get Backstreet.
Well, I know, but
NSYNC,
that all
and
broke
the other
in like
guy and this
that all
guy.
broke in like '98, '99, just a couple years after they. Wow.
Yeah. Take That were huge. Like, there's not a lot of people my age here, other than I think Robbie, close to my age. But Take That were fucking huge in the UK. I knew who the fuck they were. MTV tried to make Robbie Williams something here. The Angel song, it's a good song, but he stole it. He stole it from an Irish drug addict in Dublin. When he was in Dublin being a drug addict with the drug addict. The drug addict went to rehab. Robbie re-recorded. The drug addict threatened to sue. They gave him $6,800. The song made like $150 million. But whatever, you know.
He also did something, I don't want to say high art, but like the monkey idea. One of his videos after Millennium, I remember getting played on Total Request Live.
Rock DJ.
And he's standing in the middle of like a stage or on a revolving something, and he's ripping his skin off. He rips his muscles off.
I think it's Rock DJ, yeah.
And I remember
I know that song.
I remember at the time, people were kind of on Millennium because it was a catchy song. It had, like you said, the You Only Live Twice song.
Nancy
sampled
Sinatra,
And I remember as soon as that video came out, everyone hated that the meat one.
That they said that ended him in America.
Yeah.
That ended him in America. Oh, Eric Turner.
We got lots of people jumping in tonight.
Eric,
What's up,
feel
guys?
better, buddy. Let me know if you're all right, bro. Hit me up in the really real world. Let me know you're all right, buddy.
Oh man.
And listen, again, I said this to somebody. I said this to somebody in a chat. I go, I have a feeling I'm gonna watch that Robbie Williams movie and be impressed with the film. But Shah, at the end of the day, $110 million.
Yeah, I mean, respectfully, man.
I can't shake it.
At all. No, dude, are you kidding me?
That's like
$110
like four long legs. That's like four long legs. I'm not even
Yeah,
joking.
but look at that CGI though. That for 110, that's
terrible.
insulting.
Looks terrible. And he's not even in the movie.
awful.
There's a dancer pretending. He's not even motion. He's not even in the fucking. He's just narrating it because he's 50 fucking years old. What is he gonna do? Play a 16-year-old chimp? Like it's not gonna fucking happen. Anyway, that's about as much press Robbie Williams is getting in America for the next 20 years. You know, like I said, it's not personal, Robbie. My dad really liked that song, man. I just want to tell you that, you know, if we ever meet. Anyway, we got some bomb trailers we want to get to. Speaking of somebody too old to be in a movie, I want to get this out of the way. I was unaware this film existed. Shah was probably not aware. Bisho was aware. There is a new De Niro mafia movie. I'm not going to say anything till we play the trailer, where De Niro plays two separate characters of rival mob factions. Robert De Niro is 80 fucking years old. So this terrifies me to death. But he is Robert De Niro. It's not exactly having a great last couple of years from my output. I did love him in Killers of the Flower Moon. Bisho, what's the name of this film? It's got a weird title.
Is it the Alto Knights?
Alto Knights. We're going to play it for you now. This is 80-year-old Robert De Niro playing two rival mob bosses in the same film. Like he just can't. Can't let this go. It's a Warner Brothers film. We're gonna have to probably stop it for the strike.
Okay.
Look at
how he's walking.
Now he's not playing 30 or anything, guys. I don't want to mislead you.
He looks
but
like
he's playing Vito Genovese. I mean,
he looks like Myron or whatever his name is in the barbershop in
and Frank Costello. He's playing two legendary mafia figures, real figures. Look at him.
Where do I start? You're going down a very dangerous road. And we ain't been down dangerous roads before. But that's the risk you take. Me, I take that.
But you're not where I am. I give to charities, I pay my taxes.
Let's remember something. I put you where you are today.
Those cars.
It's because of me. Mr. Good Citizen. You want to be like them? Come on, you ain't like them. They own this country. They're bigger gangsters than we ever could be. All of a sudden, you want to be half in, half out, half a racketeer? You can't have it both ways. You're either in or you're out.
Okay, that's almost an Untouchables kind of look because of the period.
Let's pause this for a
You must have
second.
seen who shot you.
Can we pause this? Okay. All right. Right off the bat, Shah, are you taking this movie seriously?
I mean, it's kind of odd that he's playing multiple characters, like Nutty Professor,
Without any difference of the characters that much at all.
Right,
Like,
that's
just
kind
point
of
that
throwing
out.
me off. I like the vibe of the movie, though.
I like the vibe. I
So
like
far,
the
think
palette.
it's
I
got
love the
potential.
music,
Yeah.
the score. Like, but they look. You can
It ain't
tell it's-
Goodfellas, though. Like
You could tell
I
it's
can
the
tell you.
same person, right? Am I crazy, Shah?
No, it's very apparent that it's the same person. They're not even trying. I felt like they tried harder in The Irishman, to make him look different. Whereas
Which a lot of people made fun of, including myself.
rightfully so.
They sound exactly the same. Bisho, are you taking this seriously?
Not at all. And the one thing I noticed too is I like, they're setting it in like the 50s or 60s.
Well, yeah, it's based in real. Yeah, it's a real story.
But it's so crisp and so high def that
I know.
to me it doesn't have like an old school feel. It looks like
No,
a modern movie
doesn't
shot
have
to look.
doesn't
old.
have the grit, like the
Yeah.
grittiness or the griminess. They really didn't make them look different character. You can tell he's the same person. That bothers me. Let's continue here.
The man took a shot at his own boss.
We just grew up together. Frank sometimes forgets where he comes from.
You're more fly off the handle.
A lot of ancillary Italians in this. Oh,
I don't want to make a lot of noise. I don't want
Noise, it's a fucking gun.
What happens now?
I'm gonna
who's the
retire.
woman? I need to know that.
I need to find a way to take it all down.
It's just you and me. We are our own family.
He's up to something.
I'm telling you, he's not going to try anything.
Oh, those cars, right?
I don't know what he's gonna do.
Alto Knights. That is Deborah Messing. I thought that was her.
Is
Wow,
it?
that was weird casting there. Bijou, can we just pull up the credits of this movie? Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I want this to be very good. That honestly, I want this to be good. I love that time period. I'm an Italian. Sometimes I'm Irish. Depends on who's embarrassing me currently in the culture. Shah, what are you thinking?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm kind of sold. Kind of want to see this. I just wish Scorsese did this movie because I want him and De Niro to collaborate as much as possible because they're both getting up there, man. And Chris is right. Shout out to the Bayou Geeks. Because I do think maybe they're twins. Maybe that's the case. Because that's
they're two completely separate people. They're not. They're the real Frank Costello and the real Vito Genovese. They are not supposed to be people.
Well, then that's just stupid. That's just dumb.
Yeah. B-Show, what's your vibe?
I mean, if it's good, I'll watch it. I hope it's good. It's De Niro. I don't know. The only thing, there was a shot at the end where it almost had like a gray pall over it when they're walking over a bridge or something. I almost wish the movie was shot with that kind of filter because to me, it seems like a modern movie with old school trappings. It doesn't, it doesn't feel like this is a 60s movie. You know what I mean?
You can tell it was made now about the 40s, 50s, 60s. Like 70s,
but that last couple scenes where it was almost like a brown or like to me, not that it has to go classic sepia because it's overdone, but like just do something. Like don't make it look like a high def, crystal clear, 1080 fucking movie, but it's about the 60s. Gotta give me some, grease it up a little bit.
Yeah, can we just look and see who directed this? Because they did not mention a director in the thing. By the way, Robbie Richmond said this is a $45 million movie, Shah, versus what we just talked about. I mean, we have generations of Italian Americans in the mafia with some of the most famous actors in the world. Barry Levinson, guys, holy fucking shit!
Wow,
I didn't know this was Barry fucking Levinson.
this has much more potential than the Robbie Williams movie made. I mean, come on.
Robert De Niro Williams, we should call this episode.
Oh my god.
Robert De Niro Williams. Robert De Niro Williams. Robbie De Niro Williams. I mean, yeah, 45. How did they pull? But Barry Levinson knows how to get some shit. Bisho, Barry Levinson. I didn't even know he was still making a movie.
I know. What's the last thing he made?
I have no idea. I thought he was like done skied.
I thought so too. I'm trying to see
weird
who
cast.
else is in this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of like nobodies. Let's be honest. I was just curious. I saw some Italians I recognized there, but
I love when you say Italians.
I
don't
can.
know why.
Because I can. Italian because I can. You know, when other people say it, it's a slur. One of these guys looks very familiar to me on a personal level. I'll have to do my homework there before I say anything else. I think I know one of these guys. Like actually know him.
Really?
Yeah. Guy it's a gentleman in the middle, older gentleman. But the Cosmo Jarvis from Shogun in there. Yeah. The Shogun guy. Of course, Shogun cleaned up at the fucking awards. Yeah. Listen, I want this to be good. I feel like they could have maybe just casted 2 different fucking people to play the characters. But let's see. Barry Levinson is an iconic fucking director. My God. Guy's a legend. But $45 million does not look like a $45 million movie to me. God damn. You know, some of these Disney throwaway Marvel TV shows, as you know, are infinitely more expensive.
Yeah, would the Star Wars one cost $16 million an episode or something?
The one
like
that got canceled, yeah, $16 million an episode or something. Anyway, speaking of Star Wars and Disney, we are going to play the Daredevil trailer. Now, Shah, you may not be aware of this, but the Daredevil TV show is directed by Benson and Moorhead, and you've seen probably 4 of their movies, like me, like Synchronic. Those guys. Did you know that they took
Evolution, Synchronic, and what was the first one?
Oh my God. The Spring. I've seen.
There was another one.
The Endless. Shah, the Endless.
The Endless. That's the best one.
They also did VHS Viral. I don't know what episode it was called. Bone Storm. Shah, do you remember Bone Storm?
Oh, I think that's the one where it's like that Mexican cult that dresses as skeletons and they attack the skateboarder.
That might be them. Yeah, they direct Ben. So Shah and I, for people who aren't familiar with these guys, they're a tandem. They're Benson and Moorhead. They have directed probably some Shah, but honestly, maybe some of our favorite low-key, small market horror.
Definitely The Endless. If you're not familiar, start out with The Endless. The Endless is incredible. That's an incredible fun.
You love Synchronic.
I haven't seen Synchronic yet.
Oh,
I own it. I haven't seen it though.
Spring is very good too. Spring is kind of fucking nuts, dude. Spring is.
I didn't really like Spring.
Spring is nuts. They also did She Dies Tomorrow and Something in the Dirt, which I need to see. Anyway, these guys are with Marvel, Shah, and not only are they with Marvel, they got my favorite fucking character of all time. This is the trailer for the R-rated TV show with the full bringing everybody back. We got them all back, baby. This is Daredevil Born Again.
Thank you for finding the time. I will admit,
look at fucking D'Onofrio.
It's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again.
Damn.
Look at that motherfucker, guys. He's something, that dude. That dude's a
lot of time has passed. By the look of it, you've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
The mayor serves his city.
Is that Kingpin?
I can see you're not entirely
Kingpin
convinced.
Kingpin is the mayor of New York.
Jesus.
Can you blame me? I can't shake the feeling.
What
that
an
you're gaming
animal,
the system.
man.
He's so good.
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
The line was crossed.
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature. Hating the power it has over us.
My birthday.
Oh, wow.
Can't go unchecked.
All right, let's pause this. I'm afraid we're getting
needs to be
distracted.
broken.
So, Shah, the tone of this is unlike anything Marvel has ever put their name to at all.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the new direction that they're heading towards. What was the other one that we watched that was rated R? That was supposed to be back crazy. Not Deadpool. There was something else after that.
Yeah, now you got me. Maybe the chat room will G-check us. But Shah, that Benson and
weeks ago, we watched something else.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. What the fuck was it? God damn. Was it the Hulk movie? No, it was something else that's coming out this year that was rated R. But Shah, for a
Yeah.
TV show, I mean, and with these guys, and you got Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin. I mean, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I mean, I really want to get Disney Plus because I feel like they have so much content. It's just a lot of it doesn't speak to me, but I still want to watch at least Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know, man. I mean, it definitely looks good. Like I'm much more hopeful in this than the other stuff that I've seen. But
Penguin,
can't guarantee I would watch.
Penguin for DC. Penguin.
No, there was
Penguin is
something else
already.
after that.
No, they're saying we covered Penguin. Joe Punches all over that shit. He checks us all.
Yeah. No, I do remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. B show. I mean, this doesn't look like any of the output to me that they've done.
No, this looks like one of the best efforts that Disney has made through Marvel, other than maybe the X-Men cartoon. Honestly, because I know people are saying good stuff about Skeleton Crew for Star Wars.
Yeah, and my brother Mike said we all should watch. My brother Mike is a harsh critic of Star Wars and Marvel in general. He goes, "Oh my god, it's so good."
Yeah, but this looks fantastic. I mean,
very
D'Onofrio is
hard.
just an animal. You can see
he's force
just
of
his
nature.
little things he does, like the seething and the hands and the.
Yeah, it's all him, dude. Anyway, we're gonna get a little bit more big dick stuff happening here, so let's finish it.
Chaos must reign.
Punisher.
Nice.
Am I putting the hatchet down?
Jesus.
I was raised to believe in grace.
White Tiger.
But
Bullseye.
I was also raised
Muse. Jesus.
to believe in retribution.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm biased as fuck. All you have to do is blink, and you'll see why. But Shah, like Benson and Moorhead, they wrote and directed the whole fucking miniseries.
Can you see their fingerprints all over this project? Because I couldn't really tell that they had.
It's pretty dark. I mean, the tone, like they're.
No, it's dark, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm just so used to. I mean, I've only seen 4 movies from them, and they were all kind of like, intertwined as far as their story. So I'm so used to what they did with the Endless that it's kind of weird for me to see them do like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, they've worked on other Marvel shows, but this is like their full output. They finished Loki. They did some Moon Knight. They did some of the Moon Knight. They wrote it, but and Robbie Richmond, that Tiger Roar is the White Tiger character. Somebody brought it up. He died of cancer after he finished filming. The guy who plays that character had passed away of cancer.
Oh man.
And of course we have B-Show John Bernthal as the Punisher, which a lot of people, that's their favorite shit.
Dude, it seems like to me, I got vibes from Batman Begins. Just the way everything's set.
Punching. A lot of punching.
A lot of punching, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I liked the character of Daredevil as a kid. It wasn't one of my favorites just because I didn't see much of him. I wasn't into comics. But my God, I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
And also, it looks like they're building up, not the Avengers, but some team of people coming together.
Yeah, well, supposedly Charlie Cox is going to be in that fucking Secret Wars, and he's got like apparently he's been caught getting in shape for going to the big screen.
And did this guy play Daredevil, Matt Murdock, in the She-Hulk series that bombed?
Yeah, yeah.
So
he's always been.
Is she going to get roped into this somehow?
No, she's gone. They pieced that out too. They got rid of a lot of that shit. The Defenders, which is what they did previously. Yeah, Luke Cage, for sure. I like the Luke Cage show. That was a fun show. I love Bernthal. These are some of my favorite actors out there. Charlie Cox is great. He's a small guy, but he pulls off Matt Murdock really good. But Vincent fucking D'Onofrio. Kingpin? Fuck you. I am all about that. And his voice. Yeah, be sure he's adding that little thing in his voice to make sure he's an interesting character.
Yeah, and it's cool because like you can still tell it's him. It's got his mannerisms.
Yeah.
But man, that guy he's
great.
It's funny now because now I'm fantasy booking. Like I really wish he would have done a movie with David Lynch and just did something.
Do you guys know what TV show Vincent D'Onofrio lost by like a hair that they're very touchy about talking about, but he lost it by this, which was one of the biggest TV shows of all time. You guys know what I'm talking about? Do you know, Shah, what he was supposed to be, but he lost it to somebody else?
Breaking Bad?
The Sopranos. He was supposed to be Tony Soprano.
He's supposed to be Tony fucking Soprano?
He would have been Tony. Can you imagine him as Tony fucking Soprano? He would have been horrifying. I mean, even more so than Gandolfini was great, but
Yeah.
D'Onofrio, he was like, they wanted D'Onofrio. Couldn't make it work. At the end of the day, they decided they wanted to go with a more unknown. So this way, there was no typecasting for the more unknown, relatively unknown person. There's a really great story. I know we got this the monkey trailer, but there's a great story about an actor who's not very well known, but who had a bit part in a movie. And he was talking about how you treat people in movies. And he said he was on this movie with like Matt Dillon and so. It was a 90s rom-com with some famous people. He had a pretty good bunch of lines. There was a guy that had a small part. He was he was a heavy guy. He was quiet. He thought the guy was a little older than him. And he saw the guy eating by himself all the day. And he was like, you know what? I'm just going to go eat with this dude. He seems like a nice guy. I had no scenes with him. So I sat with him and I'm talking to him. And he's a very soft-spoken guy. And I was like, oh, this is working out pretty good. He goes, yeah, I just auditioned for this thing back in New York. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I'm really hoping, if this works out for me, this could be something really big, And he was talking about that he just auditioned for this show called The Sopranos to this guy. And this guy was like, you never would have guessed. And I'm thinking this guy's never getting a part in anything. He's just this bit player, like balding, fat, old looking guy. And he's eating by himself every day, because he doesn't know anybody. And this dude took pity on him. And now you fast forward and this guy's a legend forever. And this other dude, you wouldn't know if he fucking knocked on your front door. Just goes to show you. Anyway, we got a very white hot trailer, red band trailer. The last trailer for the upcoming Osgood Perkins film, The Monkey. We've been talking about this. Osgood Perkins directed Longlegs. This fucking trailer, guys. I mean, it's not that far out. This movie's a month out. I am so sold. I watched it this morning. We're going to play it for you now. This is coming out on February 21st, based on a Stephen King short story. Osgood Perkins, director of the now on Prime Video, by the way, guys, Longlegs movie. And I'm just waiting for Shah to get back because he's got to see this fucking trailer. Bisha, you have not seen this, right?
I have not, no.
We saw a 30-second teaser with really nothing. Here we actually see the monkey. And before I say anything, the monkey is so frightening to me. And Shah, you have not watched this actual red band trailer, right?
No, I'm not the red.
Okay. So we're going to play it now. It comes out in a month. Osgood Perkins, based on Stephen King's short story, The Monkey.
Everything okay in there?
Yeah, everything's fine.
We'll stop this.
Oh, that's odd. I don't remember locking this.
You wouldn't happen to remember if my aunt had a wind-up toy monkey at the yard sale?
Oh, not a cherished childhood memory now, was it?
No, 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 no!
Oh, shit.
The coroner said it was an accident, but it was no accident. It was a monkey.
Neon, Shah.
When I was a kid, my twin brother and I found something that loved to kill. I did everything I could to make it go the fuck away. But it had other plans.
Hello, brother.
Bill.
The monkey that likes killing our family. It's back.
Look at that
It must be
monkey.
vanquished.
Why don't you vanquish it, huh, Bill?
Wait.
No.
We have been chosen to witness its power over life and death in its most devious ways.
The toy monkey?
It's evil. It's basically the devil.
Everybody dies. And that's life.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Oh, fuck.
Wow. Wow. Shah. Holy fuck.
I mean, not to say Neon is the best one doing it out there, man, but I'm super into it, dude. That the scene with the blood coming out of her fucking eyelids, that shit looked crazy. Kind of reminded me of a kill from Smile.
Yeah.
I'm glad this isn't giving me the same vibes as Long Legs, though. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Yeah, it's a completely different type of movie, which I appreciate. So I'm looking forward to this. I would actually see this in a movie theater. Like this looks like a movie I would check out.
Yeah, I think this is watch it over the weekend when it opens before it gets ruined for your film. B-Show, this is like the first, I think, big, or one of the only big horror films coming out right after Valentine's Day, quite frankly. But we have, I guess, the Heart Eyes, and I think we have Wolfman and this. These are the first three, theatrical films we're getting. But this, they're touting this B-Show as just constant gore and blood, and just the deaths they say are so over the top and gruesome. That's how they're marketing the film.
Yeah, man. Look, over the top and gruesome or not, just from the trailer alone, out of the 3 movies you just dropped a second ago, this is the one I'm most interested in seeing. So, looks good. I like the monkey. Looks creepy. I can't help but shake the feeling though that the killer monkey in Satan. I can't help but imagine Stephen King drunk out of his mind, tripping over his kids' toys, and that's where he came up with the idea for this thing, because he almost broke his neck falling down the steps.
Maybe.
And hey, it birthed a good idea, because this looks fantastic. But and the other thing I'm trying to figure out is, are they unreliable narrators? Are they killing people, or is it really the monkey?
I never read the story. That's a great point. Shah, what's interesting about this is that I had said today I'm concerned because they're pushing this kind of like Long Legs, in the sense that this is going to be the bloodiest movie you've ever seen. Like, I can't believe how gory it's going to be. And I feel like they set these things up for almost failure. Do you catch that vibe at all? Are you thinking they're going to deliver? I mean, it looks fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, it looked extremely gory. But I don't want to depend the movie being like the goriest film of the year. I do think Terrifier kind of opened up that floodgate for every other movie to go to the extreme route. Because I mean, Smile was extremely fucking violent.
Yeah, it was pretty violent.
Know what I mean? Like, that was a fucking violent movie. There's definitely going to be a lot of violence in this, but I wouldn't categorize it as like a gore fest. I'm not expecting that.
Yeah,
I think what you saw in the trailer is what you're going to get. Those are the gory scenes from the movie.
Yeah, I mean, apparently there's a shit ton of deaths. Like, they just kill. Like, you see them killing relatives when they're children, killing relatives as adults, and they just keep killing them and killing them and killing them.
Jesus.
I think they kill a dick ton of relatives, all gratuitously and violently, which are all deemed as accidental deaths, but they're all horrific acts. Like, we saw someone on fire, I think, in another trailer. Bisha, remember? The guy's running on fire. And I'm excited. I think this is a go see it in theaters film. Osgood Perkins has that credential right now, and if he knocks this out of the park, guys, we're looking at the next big thing. I think Don Stoney likes the electric swimming pool. Yeah. Now, by the way, Joe Punches bring this up next week. That horror film, the ghost movie Presence from Steven Soderbergh, where it's told from the essence of the ghost, comes out.
That's Neon too. Yeah.
That is also Neon. So I think there's an updated trailer. We'll try to get to that next Thursday. It does open next weekend. If we can. Now, but we're getting over to Patreon. We got some fun stuff we're playing on the Patreon. So consider going to patreon.com/Spitball Media, $5 a month. Get you tons of access. If you get it now, you can get it on the January Q&A. And at some point over the weekend, the first of 2 Q&As, as you get full Q&A episode, 2 full episodes on top of 4 mini episodes every week as like a post wrap-up show with some topics. And please hit that like and subscribe button over at Spitball Media. Let's plug our pals. Let's plug Hey Now Rich Dow. Let's plug the Drew Yari Experience, Deathmatch Outlaws, Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast, Don Tony and Kevin Castilli, the Necromaniacs podcast. They just did their top 666. I still haven't checked that out yet, but I have to. The Inhuman Experience podcast, Ringside of Wrestling's on YouTube. We have Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show, The Garden of Doom, The Old Guy Metalcast, MJW Games, Cherry Jesus on YouTube, and the Red River Podcast. That's our good friend Sam Hoyos over there and his band Playing Dead. The Bayou Geeks, that is Fatay 316. Shout out to Chris there. And I think he just had a birthday, if I'm not mistaken. The High Marks Podcast, the Midnight Mass Creature Cast, Weekly Detour, that's Anthony Allison and Teddy, and the Guns and Geeks Podcast. Shah, we want them hitting that subscribe button on the old Planet Mondo, don't we?
Absolutely, man. I'm thinking about coming back in spring, so expect some live streams. Hopefully, starting in March. So, yeah.
Really? Oh, that's not that far away. So, but please hit that subscribe button for Planet Mondo. B Show Brian, anything cracking on the old B Show Brian channel?
Stay tuned. I've been working behind the scenes on some stuff, about ready to go. I never want to say when in case it doesn't work out, but no, Drew, there is no big B Show is sexy button because B Show is not sexy.
B Show is big. He's big sexy. He stole that from B Show. B Show was the original B Show.
Yes, that
big
was.
Sexy.
Yes, but no. Stay tuned. Go subscribe. B Show Brian. BShowPodcast.com. I think I still have that domain.
Oh, okay. And they got to hit that like button, of course, and subscribe for any updates and things of that nature. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button to Spitball Media Podcast. Oh, Dirk is in there. Shout out to Big Dirk. Yes, Dirk, my puppy is going to keep me up all night tonight. Her name is Winnie Pickles. That is her name. Her name is Winnie Pickles, aka Winifred Picklebottom. I'll probably get her on a stream, but she's going to probably end up hanging out in here a lot with me. Right now she's sleeping, I think, next door. I might have to take her out for a walk in the snow. But thank you to the many, many people chilling with us in the chat. We're having a lot of fun having you guys involved in that process. Next week, like I said, if you haven't already joined the Patreon, check that out. But at some point this weekend, we will be recording the Don Stoney episode. We're very, very excited to do that for him. And I think all the Patreon people are going to really like it. It's going to be fun. We're not going to tell you too much about it. And get your questions in January Q&A. We'll have that probably at the very end of January or early February for January. Guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week on Spitball Media.